The most frustrating thing about teaching the piano, lack of practice, forgetting what I taught them, technique, bad habits, loss of motivation. Do students practice as much as they say they do? No, never.
The hardest part about practicing when my teacher isn't there is that I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. Sometimes I make a mistake, I carry on because no one's there to correct me.
I've heard every story under the sun. I can usually tell when they haven't practiced. I end up having to redo last week's lesson to reinforce what we're trying to learn. If students had something to help them throughout their practice, that would be invaluable. And that is where the music coach comes in. It's Liz here, Leonie's piano teacher. How much practice has she been doing? As a teacher, I would say it's essential to know what the student's been practicing throughout the week. It means if I have an understanding of what they've been doing, I can pick up exactly where we left off. And that way I create faster progress.
Hi Liz. Leonie practiced about 42 minutes last week, focusing mainly on single hand arrangements and working on refining her fingering.
That's pretty good. When I'm choosing pieces for students, I'll think about what standard they've got to, what pieces might just push them a little bit, and also to find pieces that they would enjoy playing. With Music Coach, I can ask these questions directly and the response will be immediate. I would like us to find a fun classical piece for about the beginner stage.
Anything specific in mind?
One that I'm thinking of is Feuilles by Beethoven.
Absolutely. Here's the plan. We'll listen first, then break down the right hand, the left hand, and finally combine them. Does that sound good to you?
That sounds great, thank you. What students struggle with the most, practicing alone, is to select a small amount of music and stick with it, practicing just that small segment repeatedly. It's really hard for them not to go on and play the next bit before they're ready.
I often go straight to playing the whole thing beginning to end, which makes it really hard to focus on the bits that I struggle with and actually get to grips with the bits that I can't do.
Okay, let's loop from bars 4 to 8, and we're going to do right hand only.
Great choice. We're now looping from bars 4 to 8, right hand only. Let's go for it.
When I see a student practicing correctly without me having to say anything, it really is a high moment of my teaching. I feel they've really understood what to do. It empowers the student, actually.
Can we try again on wait mode?
Focus on placing each note carefully before playing. Aim for clean, accurate strikes.
Music coach is like having a teacher's assistant who's always looking after the student between lessons, guiding them throughout the practice and sustaining their motivation. What more can a teacher ask for?
I feel so much more confident practicing when the music coach is guiding me. It lets me go over the same bits again and again till I get them right, so that I can really work on the tricky parts.
Fantastic job. Perfect notes and fingering.
Sometimes I stop music coach so that I can give the student further advice for technical execution or to deepen the musical expression. Right, let's pause it here. So when you're playing your notes, it's like walking one after the other as smoothly as possible. So we're going to give it another go. It's extremely useful to know where we left off from the last lesson. Quite often I'm doing lessons where I'm recapping previous material, so the progress feels very slow, can be frustrating, not only for myself but for the student. Where did we leave our last practice session?
Last time, we worked a bit on Feuilles. We focused on right-hand fingering and slow practice.
Perfect, let's go from there.
There are things that I normally wouldn't be able to work on without the teacher. If I get stuck on something, I have to wait the week to be able to see what I was doing wrong. With this, I'm able to work on the bits on my own. So my teacher is seeing massive improvements on a scale that they definitely didn't see before.
Music coach is a brilliant addition for teaching. It helps my students achieve successful, effective, and fun practice sessions. I'm really excited to see where we go with this.